Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Jerry.
And Linda.
We're the village's newcomers. In our neighborhood, there's a gentleman that is kind of a historian, and he's developed a tour for the villages. Not just one, but 3 tours for the various sections. It's a golf cart tour. Takes 5 hours.
We're going to go far today.
It's a beautiful day. Right now, it's about 75 degrees. It's going to get up to 87, but there's a 60% chance of rain.
Oh, but it's beautiful right now. So
We'll have to wait
good.
and see. It's a 5-hour tour. That's a lot of video, a lot of storage on all my cameras, etc. So I think we're going to come back and forth, kind of talk to you as we reach each stop and let you know what's up. But looking forward to it, and we'll get right with the tour and check with you when it's over. Starting at the Dunedin Pool, our merry band of tourists got together, and Dennis gave us a pep talk and gave us the safety rules. It's going to be a long trip today.
Yeah, there's 12 of us in this little parade.
12 carts.
Right.
We're heading down Hillsborough Trail right here in the cart path. Going to give you a great look at some of the neighborhoods today. We will go through, gosh, I couldn't even count how many villages that we're going to pass through today. We're doing a voiceover for you today because of the wind noise. Give you a look at these manicured yards. It's always so pretty. And today you're going to get a great comparison of how things look down here in the southern part. That's what we call it, the southern part. It gets a lot more south now these days.
We're just about ready to hit Disney World.
That's one of the jokes, isn't it? That someday we'll be able to take our cart to Disney. We're taking my cart today. And what were we, 5th in line here? Mm-hmm. It'll shuffle back and forth all through this trip. This trip, like we said, is going to take over 5 hours. What a great commitment from Dennis to be willing to take his neighbors on such a trip and tell us some facts along the way. Got to tell you that this trip is not going to be in chronological order of how it actually happened. It will pretty much be, but we're going to jump around a little bit. And right here, we've jumped up to Odell Circle because the focus today is really going to be the villages up north. We had so much footage over 5 hours that it was a nightmare to edit this video. If you were with us on the trip, you would know that it's out of sequence in a few places. We had 3 cameras going, and it's just very, very difficult to keep it all straight. But you'll get the idea. The purpose here is to show you the neighborhoods and give you a little bit of the facts about what's going on. That's right, we always have to watch out for the drivers. But the good drivers will get over just a little bit. That cart in front of us is riding that white line. It's always best to be in the middle. Odell Circle is a big loop. It starts on Morse Boulevard between Colony Plaza and Caroline, the village of Caroline. It takes a big circle and comes out at Mallory Hill.
Oh, they got some good food there.
Yeah, we like Mallory Hill. Let's see, Friday night's fish night there. Thursday, I think, is Italian, and Saturday is fried chicken. Mm-hmm. Well, Dennis is taking us back here in the back streets of Caroline. This is the Caroline Postal Station. Where are we going on this stop?
Well, I think we're getting ready to go see a cemetery. Believe it or not, the Villages has a cemetery.
Yeah, a community as big as the Villages had to surround some areas that were previous towns. And the Cherry Lake Cemetery is right there. You're getting a look at it there. It's behind the hedge. It's locked. We did not have access, so we're not going to give you any close-up pictures.
Right. There was.
How about that little threading the needle right through these barricades, huh?
Did a great job. You know, there's no direct access through that for the cemetery. There's a dirt road on the other side. We just got a little peek of it over here.
Yeah, you can see it. I think that cemetery started in the early 1920s, and how many people are in there?
They say there's about 78 graves in there.
And they're well taken care of. But Dennis gave us a little talk on it, and now we're going to keep going north. Actually, we're going to do a little U-turn and come right back the way we just came. Again, hopefully you're getting some looks at the homes, the driveways, the palm trees, the shrubs. Our video today is more than an hour long. If you hang in there for the entire video, you're going to earn the title of super viewer, let me tell you. Going back past that cemetery.
And I think it's still an active cemetery. I mean, it's not closed. I think you can still be buried there if you want to.
Yes, but could you drive through this barricade like this? Huh?
No, I cannot.
And we'll continue down Odell Circle, and we're heading toward Morse Boulevard again. We're going to come out right near the entrance to the village of Caroline.
I always recognize Caroline, the village of Caroline, with these blue walls.
Yeah, blue walls right across from Sumter Landing.
Mm-hmm.
As we turn this corner up here, you'll see a ramp will go down into a tunnel. And that tunnel will take us over towards Sumter Landing. We think that as you go farther north, the tunnels get a little bit lower. When I ride the bicycle, I don't really have to duck my head, but psychologically I do, because I don't want the top of my head sheared off.
Well, you need to get closer to the middle of the bridge too, or the tunnel.
We are on the Sumter Landing side of Morse Boulevard. Now, this trail used to go straight right through this next roundabout and on to the bridge that will take us up to Spanish Springs. But some time back, they've barricaded that and make you go through the parking lot of the Winn-Dixie. I think there were probably some traffic accidents out in that roundabout area.
Well, I think Winn-Dixie wanted them to do that so we could stop and get some snacks on the way.
That's a great idea. Good marketing tool for Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
Well, you have to zigzag through the parking lot. I believe Dennis is going to stop here and regroup a little bit, and he'll tell us about this bridge. The John E. Parker Bridge.
Yeah, it was named after a friend of Gary Moore's in Michigan, one of his buddies.
That's a common theme here. Lots and lots of things in the villages are named after places and areas in Michigan. So we have to continue that little detour. Remember, we would have already been going over the bridge, but we had to zigzag here onto Lake Sumter Landing, and we'll turn left right up here before we would enter the roundabout, the danger zone. I gotta say, I think Lake Sumter Landing is my favorite town square.
It's beautiful. I really like the whole scenery of the lake and the lighthouse.
We're going to turn here, and now we're driving alongside one of Linda's favorite neighborhoods, Lakeshore Cottages.
Oh, they're beautiful. Just charming.
Now these have a view of Morse Boulevard, but boy, on the back side they have a view of Lake Sumter. Mm-hmm. Wow. And this trail will take us right over the bridge, and that is a harrowing trip.
And that's why you're driving and not me.
There's one lane north, one lane south, and they are tight. You'll get a look at it here. By the way, most of today's ride is in real time, just as you would experience it. We did cut out some of the trip from our home to this point, because as it is, like I told you, this trip's already over an hour long at the end. And we wanted to save you a little bit of that you're already familiar with because we take it so often. But here we're on the bridge. Now there's no carts coming the other way, so it looks like plenty of room, although on the right you see cars flying by. There's a nice little concrete divider there. Coming up on the left is Sunset Point. That's where lovers go and watch the sun go down.
I heard they have submarine races, right?
They go watch the submarine races. Linda remembers. See one of the groundskeepers, he's spraying for weeds there. It's quite a long bridge. Speed limit is 10 miles an hour. Hoping a cart comes the other way so you can see just how tight it is. There's a sidewalk. See the sidewalk over there? That makes it much nicer for walkers. I would hate to have to walk this without that sidewalk. Now this lake has nice fish in it, but you can't fish there. Come on, villages.
Not allowed.
You let us fish where there's no fish. Here comes a cart. Boom! That was close. Did you see that cart?
Oh my God.
That was pretty fancy. Probably had air conditioning.
Mm-hmm. They're going to need it today.
I think he polished my side view mirror as he went by. Yeah, you can look over this bridge and you can see those tilapia, those great big fish. They're like bluegill, but on super steroids. We're over the bridge now and we're heading north. We're going to turn right here and go back under Morse Boulevard. That's the way these tunnels go. They go under and back across. They keep it safe. It's one of the best things about the village is this amazing infrastructure. But look coming out of this tunnel.
This is beautiful. I love these live oaks. Love them.
They say the best live oak is the one your neighbor has in his yard.
I always wonder about that stuff that hangs down from them. I don't think you're supposed to do anything with them. They're like protected or something.
No, they have mites. They have mites and chiggers and things like that. And,
I definitely don't want to touch them.
right here on the left is a pond. I don't think you can see it very well. That the villages will let you fish in, but we never catch any fish there. I want to fish in that other one, back there, where the lighthouse is. We've tried it here, but no luck. We like to fish. I mean, we're not crazy fishermen. We don't go out every day or even every week or even every month, but we'll go out once in a while.
We especially like to do that when the grandkids are here.
But isn't this pretty up here? These mature trees just add so much. And look, it's time to go under another tunnel. We're going under 466 right now. 466 is a real landmark in the villages. We always say it's the top part of the tic-tac-toe board. It's the east to west, just like 466A is on the bottom. But we're up here. This to me signals we're in Spanish Springs. The church that Linda and I go to once in a while is just to the east back there. It's called Fairway Christian.
It's a lovely church.
You can recognize it by the big white steeple that you'll see up there. Now we're back out to Morse Boulevard, north of 466. Look at this little bridge we're going to go on up here.
I like
It's a golf cart bridge.
I like this little bridge.
To the right is a lake that's covered with lily pads and slime, but it's probably a haven for wildlife. See the bridge here?
They probably call that a preserve, right?
It's a preserve. Mowing the grass. They take such good care of the landscaping here. I hope that's something that never changes. And we're back out onto Morse Boulevard. Heading towards Spanish Springs. If you've gone to the hospital or some of the medical centers up here, we're not far away at this point.
And all the villages have a Spanish kind of name in the streets.
That's right up here, De La Vista, east, west, and south and north. Rio Grande, or is it Rio Grande?
I don't know.
It's got an E on the end. Definite Spanish theme to the colors and the walls and the roofs.
Yeah.
Now these roads, like this Morse Boulevard here, they're totally 100% open to the public. You don't have to have a gate pass. You can pass through anytime. All the contractors, all the services, they come right up and down these. And so do tourists and visitors. You don't need any special permission to use these roads. And you have to figure that these guys that are passing through here, some of them know the rules, some of them know the etiquette, some of them know about the golf carts, but some don't. They're passing through for the first time. It's like moving here for the first time. You don't know everything when you come here. Do you see that white triangle? That's a dedicated lane for special vehicles like golf carts and bicycles. The homes up here are probably from around 1990 to 2000. You know, that's a guess. Just like everything we give you is either a guess or an estimate. Don't take us as the end all to information. We're just telling you what we think, what we've found out through word of mouth. You know how that goes. But each one of these little neighborhoods, like the one we're passing by here at the stoplight, they're all Spanish influenced. They all have, the first section of the villages we're heading toward is called Orange Blossom Gardens. We'll go up there to Silver Lake. But when they crossed over 441 to come back this way and develop, that's when they picked up that town square of Spanish Springs, and they continued that Spanish motif. You can notice by those palm trees up ahead on the right. Look at those. What are we on, Hawaii 5-0 or something? Those are some big old palm trees. They've been here a long time.
I sure have.
Cart and bike lane, it said. You know, see the fence on the right?
Yeah.
Those run all down Morse Boulevard and all down Buena Vista over on the other side. They have to be maintained, and they are maintained. We'll see a board go down in no time at all. Boom, it's replaced. More deciduous trees, it seems to me, up here.
I think so.
In Spanish Springs than there are down south. Deciduous, of course, means they drop their leaves. But lots of palm trees here as well. And palm trees, remember, are not really native to this area. Now, if you're an arborist, and you could certainly give me a lesson on it, but I was told that most palm trees don't do extremely well in this weather because we get some days down in the 30s.
Right.
But they have developed some that will, and we're seeing more and more palm trees here in the villages now. I'm always worried about our Robellini. Robellini's that one with multiple trunks that grows, and you'll see people cover it when the temperature gets down to 40 degrees or less. So far, so good, though. Like most palm trees, man, that sucker has some thorns on it.
It does. Why do they have those thorns?
Another popular tree here is the crepe myrtle. You'll see these colorful blooms,
Especially in spring.
especially in the spring, but I think they come out. We have some right here, right now on our tree. And it grows so fast. It was touching our house last year, and about 6 months ago, I pruned the heck out of that tree, and boom, it's touching the house again. It seems like a never-ending battle. Always merge into the lane before you turn left. You see how we did it there? You don't want to go from the golf cart lane and make a left turn across traffic, or you'll get broadsided.
Now, here's a hidden treasure.
Yeah, we weren't privy to these little alleys and passways, and Dennis took us through here, and it was kind of neat to see.
We're behind some villas, it looks like, and then there's a hedge on the other side, so it's just, it's like thread that needle.
Yeah, we assume there is a villa there, but there are different rules in the villages for different places. I think down south there's some walls like that with some veranda homes behind them.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see when you look at the roads, the homes, the infrastructure, that these are showing a little bit of age, as any would after 30 years. This nice privacy hedge all along the right gives these homeowners some protection. One of my fears has always been, what if there was a big freeze? Or, like the ash borer or some kind of insect would destroy these hedges. These homeowners would have a constant flow of carts right behind their house.
I don't know if you noticed just there, but there were some houses with some, tin roofs. What do they call that?
Metal roof?
Metal roof, yeah. You don't see that.
Now that was Chip right there. We just passed a gentleman who wrote me an email and said, "Hey, I was walking Chip and I saw you guys." So we put Chip's picture on a recent Mailbag Monday. We think it's so funny that you guys are sharp enough to recognize us as we fly by at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You saw solar panels right there. Now that can be as a benefit for electric, or it can be for a pool,
Yeah.
Here we have found the electric bill to be far less, knock on wood, than it was back in Indiana. Less than half. And we hope that continues. It would take a long time to get back your investment for solar panels, I think. But we're in Spanish Springs now. In fact, we're lost, but we're just following those carts.
Where are we? We're definitely going places we've never been before.
Yeah, if you lived up here, you'd appreciate these little shortcuts. What a busy little cart trail, though.
Oh, here we go. We're going on another little one.
We could have driven city streets and gotten to the same place we're going, but Dennis knew these little shortcuts, and I'm glad to have seen them. Such a nice thing he does for the neighborhood, to do these tours, and we really did appreciate it. We're going to come right into the Spanish Springs Town Square here in just a little bit. It's very charming. There's a fountain in the town square. It's very powerful. It's got 4 or 5, I don't know how many jets of water coming out of it. When we go around it this morning, it's not going to be on. They haven't turned it on yet, or perhaps they were cleaning it or something, but a little bit later when we come back by, it's going to be on and flowing, and you'll get a little bit of a look at it. Cars have the right of way.
It must have a
Golf
lot of
carts
traffic.
wait. It's always a situation when you arrive, especially at a gate, when a car will stop and motion you on. Then you're like, do I go? Do I not go? If he lets you go, that's fine, but what about the car coming the other way? He doesn't know you're coming. So it's best cars just keep going. We'll wait until we get a clearing, and then we'll go.
That car got in our parade and realized that there's 12 of us.
An interloper. I have no idea what road this is. But you're getting a good look. This is very typical scenery for the Spanish Springs area.
The cars these days has those navigation displays in your car. Wouldn't it be nice to have that in our golf carts so we know exactly where we are and map us out?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because there is an app that you can get. You can get it at the Google Play Store, or there are other places too. That you can punch in addresses, and it has a lot of them pre-programmed for you. For example, you could have said the Dunedin Pool, and it'll route you right to it. Or you could say Manatee Recreation Center. Or you could say Paradise Recreation Center, which is where we're going today, and it would have taken us right up there. Often we hear complaints that the southern sections aren't fully represented on these GPS apps yet because the streets are so new. I mean, let's face it, 6 months ago, some of these people that live here, their home was a sandy
That's right. A lot.
area. Yeah, a lot.
Big sandy lot.
The road wasn't even concrete yet. As you look up ahead, you can see some of the larger buildings. That's in the Spanish Springs Town Square area. We're going to pull over here a little bit. You can, by the way, you can do your own research. If you get on Google, you can Google things like the bridges that we go over today, or the Veterans Memorial Park, or the Cherry Lake Cemetery, Spanish Springs Town Square. You can find all the information. And I'm not going to try to give it all to you here on this video, but it's out there for you. Very easy to find. There is a venue for concerts up here called the Sharon. And this is where you could have some major stars, like I think Barbara Eden was here a few years ago. Big time, Engelbert Humperdinck, some massive stars will come. That's named after Sharon Morse, one of the founders of the villages.
We've not been there yet, but we're planning on it. Or I am. I think we're taking a little rest stop here.
A restroom break.
Yeah.
Many cars here. There's a good chance these are not villagers. These are people that work here. And you can see just another one of the little charismatic points in the villages that is cool, you know, to see little things like this. All these golf carts. Pretty cool, right? Back in Indiana, we never saw any like this. In fact, when I started playing golf, the carts didn't even have a roof on them. Some of the carts were three-wheelers, in fact.
Flintstone age.
Yeah, back in the old days. That cart right there is pretty cool. That's a yesteryear cart. It's modeled after an old truck. I'm not sure what model. They're expensive. I'd say they run around $20,000, give or take.
They've got more storage. It's like they got a trunk in the back and platform.
An adapter for golf. You could use it to play golf, but you just don't see many like that playing golf. Usually somebody like that will have another golf cart. Maybe you drive the husband's cart to play golf, or the wife's to play golf.
Now, you don't see very many people out today because it's very hot. It's 89 degrees about around there, and most of them are inside, and they'll come out and
we started
later on.
This at 9:30, so right now it's about 10:15, 10:30. Soft surroundings over there. Now that's one of Linda's favorite stores.
I like to go in. I don't buy very much there, but it is gorgeous. And Chico's.
Chico's. I have heard that name so many times.
I know. I hope they're still in business. I don't know.
You can see it's not too busy. People say, just how slow is it when the snowbirds aren't in town? Well, you can see 10:15 or 10:30 on a Thursday morning. This is what you see. Killian's there on the left. That's what Linda was talking about.
They got a great bakery.
A bakery stuff, yeah.
Ice cream, caramel apples. Oh, nice. Fudge.
Hello, everybody. Where are you? I think I'm lost. I know where we're going, though. We're going to the Veterans Memorial Park. Veterans of many different eras, wars, and conflicts are honored here. You can buy a brick If you have a relative that is currently in the military or someone that was, you can buy a brick. I think they're $55. They'll etch their name in it and put them down there. That's what these folks are looking at right here, these red bricks.
Yes, I think 2 veterans started this or went to the Morse family and said we need to dedicate an area for the veterans and felt the need. And it was Frank Mezzatesta and Harold Severs. Anyway, but they got together and got this all started.
A+ for you, young lady, on that name. That was a tough one. Said he was a prisoner of war, and he took it under his own advisement to raise money and get this thing started. And the Villages is a very patriotic place, and you'll see that when you come here, you're going to see a lot of flags flying and a lot of celebrations on Veterans Day and Memorial Day and the 9/11 observance day. Here's the Everett Kelly Causeway. This is fun, going up and over. We always call it a bridge. It's technically called a causeway.
And we're going up the log flume, and wait till you get to the top. Woo!
Yeah, we're going down.
Hold on.
It's steeper than it looks.
That's true.
Now, Everett Kelly passed away just 3 years ago at the age of 92, and wow, if you read his obituary, you'll be impressed. This guy, he had accolades.
Wow.
Like you wouldn't believe. We're just stop over here near the Paradise Rec Center and just take a look. And Dennis gave us a little brief on the area.
Oh, we've gone here before with Gizmo. There's a little dog park right up below the bridge.
I always like to comment, the dog park and the archery range are right next to each other.
Does not make sense, does it?
Give you a little challenge.
Stay away from the dogs. Ooh.
That was an ibis. A lot of shade in Spanish Springs.
And this is a nice little area too, because there's a walking path around here. It's called the Paradise Walking Path.
These original homes were sold by mail order until it became illegal. Do you remember when you were young? I don't know about girls, but I mean, for us, we could grow your own seahorses. You'd see those little advertisements. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Grow your own seahorses or buy a real hand grenade.
Oh my gosh.
X-ray vision. You remember that one?
Not really.
You could buy some glasses, they would get X-ray vision. We're stopping here. The people in the neighborhood took it upon themselves to repaint those little statues over there. There's 2 little fishermen in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute. But you're going to see some nice little shelter houses and pretty bodies of water over here. There's Boone Park and Schwartz Park. In fact, we're going to see Harold Schwartz's first home.
Oh.
They said that he ordered one himself and bought it. And I think the cost of the land and the built home and everything was around $12,000.
Excellent.
Tell you, when you're taking a tour and trying to keep the 3 cameras going, it becomes a little bit of a chore. So I really don't know which one's Boone Park and which one's Schwartz Park, but I don't think it really matters.
No, they're both lovely. They got little places to sit, little shelter house, little picnic tables.
These homes here are definitely different construction than you're going to see further south. Very few actual golf cart garages.
Right.
You often have a lean-to or a carport to store your golf cart. Most of these homes do have golf carts. Still, you can see that the yards are well kept. The landscaping is pretty, lots of neat specimens.
Most of the mobile homes are gone now. They have been in disrepair, and then they've demolished them, taken them down, and now they have regular homes they've built in their place.
I don't know if most of them are gone, but they did tell us that as they do come up for sale, that sometimes they are bought and demolished in a new home. And we saw some really pretty new homes that have gone up right here in this neighborhood. I believe this one is Boone Park. I'm just guessing, but I think it is. Some of you have heard of the movie star Megan Boone. She's on the blacklist. And Megan, if you watch our show, I hope you do, but if you do, we'd love to have you on someday.
We love the show you were in.
When you come to town, would you please give us a call and appear on our show? We think you are fantastic.
Yes, we do.
There's Harold
there's
Schwartz's
Harold's
original
house.
home. That's it right there. I think somebody else not related lives there now. Here she comes, in fact. Going to park under that carport.
I bet she feels special living in that house.
Is it a carport or a cartport?
Carport.
Both, right? 2 cars and a golf cart.
Yeah.
And look, that lot's for sale. You could live next to Harold Schwartz's house.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if it was blue back in the day.
No, they said they just recently painted it.
Oh, okay.
These homes appear to be a little bit further apart than some of the homes here. I mean, it's very common here where we live. From our house to the property line, 5 feet on the sides. And then 5 from there to the neighbor's home, so 10 feet between homes. We're just following. This is a maze over here. We're going to eventually make our way up to Orange Blossom Country Club. I think most of you have seen that on our other video. I don't know if we'll bring you any footage of that today. There are lots of rec centers and swimming pools and things like that throughout the villages, and they have them up here too. But I wanted everyone to know that anyone that lives here can use any pool in the villages, except for the couple of pools that need a priority membership. Orange Blossom Pool is one of those, one right here, because it has that beautiful waterfall. But anybody here can use any pool that Linda and I can use. Anybody here can come to any rec center. There are 104 villages now, I believe. So it gives you a lot of options.
You just have to be ready to show your village ID card.
See the awnings on the home there? That tells us that the afternoon sun is probably brutal on that side of the house. So they've put in those awnings. All this grass has to be cut regularly and edged, and the weed eater has to be used to trim around all your shrubs and fences and etc. And you can see they're doing a pretty good job of it up here. Now, as far as the district goes and the rules and regulations, this area, we believe, is under a little bit of a different leadership than others. And I'm not going to get into it, but we have talked about the districts and how districts control their own areas.
Right.
This one is under a little bit different management because of its age. The Silver Lake Rec Center. Silver Lake, one of the early villages. The villages may be the pickleball capital. There are so many people here that play pickleball. We have not really jumped into that. We've taken pickleball 100 and 101, but we have not been playing pickleball. But someday we're going to try it.
I'm not sure. It's for me.
Won't know till we do it. That's a neat golf cart on the left there. That's the one we've been following all day. I wish I knew the name of that for you, but it's a truck. You don't see too many golf cart trucks. Just a few clouds in the sky today. We love the skies down here. We've told you many times. Sorry if we overdo it, but we can't tell you how beautiful the sky is here. The more clouds, the more beautiful. We saw some. Linda called me out yesterday. She said, come and look at this cloud. So I went outside and she goes, no, come in here. I want you to look through the window. And there was a big cloud that lightning was flashing every once in a while inside the cloud.
Inside the cloud. It was like it's going on and off and on and off. And then, not too far, on the next few streets over, there was another cloud system, and it was doing it. It was like they were answering each other. It was gorgeous.
See more awnings on these homes. Yards with trees can do the same job of an awning. And without trees, you'll see a lot of these people do have awnings on their homes. Well, you can see right there the room between the homes, much greater than it is where we live. There was a fancy driveway. You haven't seen too many driveways that have ornate designs on them, but that was one. There's the typical carport.
You really don't see as many palm trees up here.
No, and I think as you go farther north, Bellevue on up to Ocala, I think you're going to see fewer and fewer until you basically see none. Just remember, everything we tell you is our opinion. You know, we try to give you good facts, but please do your own research. Now, you would need a gate card to get here. You'd need a gate card, or you have to go through and push the red button, in which case the arm will raise for you to drive through, so anyone can do it, but it will take a picture of your vehicle and your license plate, just for record, in case there's some need for that. Gizmo's right here with us. Don't worry, he's absolutely right here. He's wagging his tail 90 miles an hour because I said his name. But he said he doesn't have much to add because he hasn't been to Spanish Springs.
Well, I did one time to that dog park, but that was a long time ago. This would have been a hot day for him, and a little bit too long.
Keeping a good distance with that card in front. We don't want any chain reactions. Have you noticed the cars and the parking here? Now, there are a few in the driveways, but there are also a few that we've seen parked on the street. I don't know if those are guests or workers or what they are, but I noticed that a couple of them were parking with 2 tires in the grass and 2 on the pavement, because perhaps this street is not as wide as some other streets. I'm not sure about that, but why else would you park with tires in the grass? Again, we apologize for the length of this video. It was a 5.5-hour tour, and we have already edited out almost 4 hours of footage. So I didn't want to overdo it, but it's turned into a monster video. If you are still with us, say something in the comments. because we want to know who you are, because you are the gold medal viewers.
Superstars. And you might get set, go.
Right there. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That's a 4-seater. Now, carts come in 2-seater or 4-seater configurations. There are some 6-seaters, but most families,
Yeah.
I don't know of any family that has one of those, but you can get lots of different colors and lots of different designs. And the 4-seaters don't tend to be as golf friendly as the 2-seaters, but they are used. We have bucket seats on both of our carts, and Gizmo, as we told you before, he's not a fan of that. He likes the bench seat because he stands up in between
Yeah.
us. Much better. With the buckets, he can slide down into the crack there, and he's not for that. So many times he'll ride back in the little basket, and we have a little system where we hook him in with clips, and he can't jump out. We even have a little cover to put over him on sunny days or
Yeah.
rainy days that we can put on him, so he's snug and he's dry. And Linda may forget my water on a trip, but she doesn't forget Gizmo's. She always brings him water. I left this footage in here just so you can continue to see the types of homes that are in Spanish Springs, Orange Blossom, Silver Lake, etc. Because if you are on a shoestring budget and you need or want a home in the villages with all the amenities, these are a good option for you. They come up for sale quite often, and we have seen them as low as $115,000. So, you know, it's doable. My father passed away about 6 months ago, but he would have been totally happy in just about any of these homes here.
Oh, yeah, he would love this. We're doing a lot of those California stops.
Well, actually, I think it's the video. I am complete stop, but the video, the way I'm editing it, probably looks like, it may look like a slight roll. Once in a while we get a comment about political flags, because you'll see some from all of the political parties here. People tend to focus on that sometimes. We're just like every other city. You know, the last time I heard an estimate was that 35% or more of the villages are Democrat, and possibly up to 60% Republican, and quite a few independents here. So you're going to see just about everything. No gravel driveways, all concrete. All driveways are supposed to be weeded and edged. They're going to trying to maintain that really well-groomed look for all the homes here. You should not see any boats parked in the yard, any cars that are not licensed. You're not going to see a tree house in the palm trees. See that truck right there is a landscaper. That is an everyday occurrence in our street, because you don't have to coordinate that with anybody. You know, I can get our grass cut on Wednesdays, somebody else is on Mondays, somebody else is on Fridays.
Right.
You know, it can happen any day, and you see it a lot. We're going to do a show real soon on grass, cutting, edging, blowing, weed eating, and kind of show you what's involved and talk about the costs and whether it might be better for you to do it yourself or to hire it out. We haven't lost anybody yet. We still have 12 carts in our parade. I would love to see, you know how when you go on Map My Ride or you have a GPS of your walk or your bike ride, how it'll show you the little trail you've taken. I would love to see that because I think it would look like a ball of yarn here.
Yeah.
We've been zigging and zagging out of all the streets in the historic side here. That's what they call it, the historic side. Full stop.
Yeah. Good job.
See that church up there? You can't see it now, it's obscured by that tree. But that's up near Highway 441, so basically we're on our way out. And I didn't get footage of it, but today Dennis will take us through what they call the Berlin Wall. It is a concrete wall that was put up to block access that was then taken down so that villagers could have access to the area where Lowe's is, where the big Walmart is, lots of other strip malls and gas stations and whatnot, but it's right out there. So people that live right here have access to a lot of things, probably as many or more than we have access to. The age range up here in Spanish Springs is going to be a higher number than you're going to find where we live.
Yeah.
And where we live will be a higher number than you're going to find down in Southern Oaks, in DeLuna, in Bradford, in Chitty Chatty, in Hawkins, and St. Catherine. You know, those are going to be
And what's the new one going to be? Eastport? Is that what it's called?
going in right now.
Yeah, they'll be younger.
They'll be younger. And as Linda was talking about yesterday, when you go into a brand new neighborhood, you all go in at the same time. When you start a card club, boom, you've got people for it. Here, we moved in, this neighborhood was almost 3 years old. They'd already established their card clubs, their golf groups,
Right.
etc. You have to break into them. Maybe you're a sub for a while, maybe you get in, maybe you don't. But in a new neighborhood, you're gonna have a good chance of forming a real bond with your neighbors.
This is the gate.
I think the chances up here are that none of these homes have a bond. All of the new homes have bonds down south. We're going through a wall here that's going into a retail area. People have asked us about insurance on golf carts. Personally, we don't believe in operating any kind of a vehicle without proper insurance. You can get total coverage, and if you had a new golf cart, maybe a 2021 or 2020, 2019, maybe you want full coverage. Or you can have just liability only. That means if you run over somebody's foot or you back into a car and scratch it, you're going to be covered. But it's up to you. Usually that's a rider that will attach to your car policy. There may be some standalones you'll have to ask your insurance professional. But for a trip like today, we would never do that without insurance. We've also had the question asked to us several times, what about when we come for a lifestyle visit? Are we insured riding the cart? I'm not going to say we can give you an opinion on that. You'll have to ask the villages. If the answer was no, maybe you want to take out your own insurance for a week. If you can even get that done, I'm not sure. That being said, we don't see many instances where that's needed. But you never know. If you were following us on a map right now, we would be about as far north as the village's hospital, but we're on the other side of 441. And we're heading toward that Lowe's. And what else was it? Oh, the big Walmart.
Big Walmart. There's a Sonic up there maybe or something. I don't know.
Lots of restaurants.
Yeah. And
People ask us about seafood. Where can we get fresh seafood in the villages? Well, we are inland, So we don't have shipping boats coming in and unloading fish every day, but there is a place up a little bit farther than this called Sam's St. John's, and they have good fish. We've eaten there a few times. We've talked before, that's one of the things we miss the most about living back where we lived before. You have a lifetime to find those hidden treasures, the little restaurants that serve the kind of food you like at the price you like. And up here, we're having more trouble finding those places. But every once in a while, we'll find one that we really like. Right, Linda?
Well, and you also can go on that Villages Talk, and you'll ask, oh, where can you find the best fish, or can you go to the best Chinese food, and people will give their opinions, and you can get lots of answers that way.
We love these cart trails that go through the big trees, as we keep telling you. It's one thing to see it on the video here, but it's another thing to drive through here. It's just so nice, and it's cooler. There's something to look at no matter which way you turn your head. Lots of people walk to get where they're going up here. Walking is popular in the villages. People say, but there aren't sidewalks. Yes, there are sidewalks, but when you're on a back road or a side street, you really don't need a sidewalk, in our opinion. $20-mile-an-hour speed limit, that is the limit for a golf cart, 20 miles per hour. You must go under that speed to be legal.
We're coming out with orange blossoms right here. This is the library. This is the third library of the villages. They have two down in the Villages Public Library on Pinellas Plaza, and there's one in Belvedere. But this is like Villages owned, or not really owned, but so that's the third library of the Villages. And it was rather charming inside.
Dennis is taking us here to see where there is access to that new Lowe's and to Walmart. We have both closer to us than this. We would never come up here ourselves. But for the people that live up here, this is where they would go. This is where we're going to stop and eat lunch. It's near Paradise Recreation Center. It's a beautiful wooded grove here with a shelter house. And They brought some tablecloths, and we all brought lunch and drinks, and we're going to sit down and have a little snack.
Because I'm hungry.
And we're back on the road. It was a quick lunch. All in all, I would say to drive up to Orange Blossom about an hour, and about the same to drive back. And then we had all the stops and the side journeys and such. So it was a healthy trip. But now we're going to take you back over that bridge. We're going to go the opposite way. I think this way is a steeper descent, so it's going to be a quicker trip down. I always liken it to the log flume at the amusement park.
Sure.
Get up to the top, they release you, and you clank around a bit, but then you go on the straight down part, and that's what you wanted. That's what you paid your money for.
Yeah, you lift your feet off the ground and your hands in the air. But don't do that.
Yeah. You can see how close that cart was. But here we go. Hands up. Believe me, that's a lot steeper than it looks on this camera. And now we are back on the other side of 441. We're in the area of the Spanish Springs Town Square. We're going to stop right in the town square where they have the statue of Harold Schwartz. In fact, it's more than a statue of Harold Schwartz.
Oh, yes. I heard it has his ashes in it. Is that
right.
true?
He was cremated.
Oh, yeah.
And they put his ashes.
Oh.
You know, that's the typical Florida burial is a cremation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the water table is so high. But when we went to the Cherry Lake Cemetery, those were graves.
Mm-hmm. They were.
You know, I wonder how deep they bury them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if the water, but we told you that was a higher point in the villages.
Yeah.
You know, they're by Mallory, so a little bit higher. Coming into the town square, that's always kind of an iconic look. Remember the Alamo.
Yeah.
There's the statue of Harold Schwartz. We just caught it on the left side as we went by. And we're going to park right here and talk about the town square a little bit. Then we'll be on our way. We're not going to film you the return trip home as much as you probably wish we would right now, but we have enjoyed being with you. And we did a sign off, so we're going to cut to that. See the fountain?
Here it is.
It's pretty. It's prettier up close. That's going to do it for this tour. It was a long day, but a good day. We went to many places. We'd been in Spanish Springs, but we'd never seen some of these side streets and things, but very nice. And we want to thank
little hidden treasures.
Hidden treasures. We want to thank Dennis for all the effort and time it took to put this together. He did it for 11 other golf carts today.
That's true.
And he does it every once in a while for residents of Dunedin. So very, very nice thing, and we appreciate it.
We had a great time. It was a beautiful day. Please press that like and subscribe button. Until next time.
See you when you get here.